Tonight, you're going to walk into a gym. You're going to step onto a treadmill. You're going to run in place for 45 minutes, going nowhere, chasing nothing. And your body is going to love it. Not because it understands exercise, because it thinks it's hunting. Strip away the neon lights and the mirrors and the protein shakes. Underneath all of it, your body doesn't know the difference between a treadmill and a chase across open grassland. It never learned to. It never had to. For most of human history, there was no gym. There was only the hunt. And the hunt was not what movies show you. You picture a spear, a sudden throw, a quick kill. But the anthropologist Louis Liebenberg spent years studying the sand hunters of the Kalahari Desert, and what he documented looked nothing like that. It looked like patience. It looked like running for hours, sometimes an entire day. This is called persistence hunting, and it might be the reason you are built the way you are. Here's the strange part. Humans are slow. A kudu, an antelope, almost any prey animal can outrun a human easily over a short distance. You would lose that race badly. But over long distances, in the heat of the day, something changes. Animals overheat. You don't. Not the same way. The Harvard evolutionary biologist Daniel Lieberman has spent decades researching exactly why. His answer comes down to sweat. Most mammals cool themselves by panting, and panting only works when you're not running, because you can't pant and breathe hard for locomotion at the same time. Humans sweat instead. Millions of sweat glands across bare skin. That means you can keep moving and keep cooling down at once. So the ancient hunters didn't outrun their prey. They outlasted it. They tracked it for miles under the sun, kept it moving, kept it from resting, kept it from cooling off, until the animal's body simply gave out. Think about that for a second. Your ancestors' greatest hunting weapon wasn't a weapon at all. It was endurance. And your body remembers. Every part of the human frame that seems oddly specific starts making sense once you picture the hunt. Your long legs built for distance, not speed. Your Achilles tendon, which acts like a spring, storing and releasing energy with every stride. Your glutes, some of the largest muscles in your body, which barely activate while walking, but fire hard the moment you break into a run. Why would evolution build something that only turns on for running, unless running was the point? Even your nose plays a role. Air moving through it gets humidified and cooled before it reaches your lungs, letting you breathe efficiently for hours of exertion. None of this is accidental. All of it is inheritance. Now walk back into the gym. That treadmill? Your legs think it's the chase. That elliptical? Your glutes think it's the pursuit. That feeling of sudden clarity after a long run, the one runners describe almost like a switch flipping in the brain? Researchers have linked it to endocannabinoids, natural compounds released during sustained aerobic effort. Some scientists believe this runner's high evolved for a very specific reason, to keep exhausted hunters moving even when every muscle was begging them to stop. The body needed a reward system that could override pain, or persistence hunting would never have worked. You don't feel that high when you check email. You don't feel it after a big meal. You feel it after miles. But here's where it gets stranger. If your body was built for the hunt, why does modern life feel so exhausting in a completely different way? The anthropologist Herman Poncer spent years measuring energy expenditure in the Hadza, a hunter-gatherer community in Tanzania, using doubly labeled water to track exactly how many calories they burned in a day. His findings surprised almost everyone in his field. Despite walking for miles daily and being far more physically active than the average office worker, the Hadza burned roughly the same total calories per day as people living sedentary lives in wealthy countries. Your body, it turns out, doesn't just react to activity, it adapts around it. Move more and other systems like stress hormones or immune function quietly turn down to compensate. Your metabolism isn't a simple calories in, calories out machine. It's a negotiation built over millions of years to keep energy expenditure remarkably stable, no matter how hard you're moving. Which means the modern gym isn't really replacing the hunt. It's giving your body the movement it expects without the context it evolved to expect that movement in. No open sky, no changing terrain, no animal to track, no uncertainty about whether today ends in food or hunger. Just a screen showing your heart rate and a number counting down. Is it any wonder so many people find pure treadmill running unbearable, while the same people can hike for hours outdoors without noticing the time pass? Your body isn't lazy, it's bored. It knows on some old and wordless level that something is missing from the chase. This is the part modern fitness culture rarely mentions. The ancient hunt wasn't just physical, it was deeply social and deeply purposeful. Hunters moved together, communicated constantly, adjusted strategy in real time, and at the end, brought food back to people who were waiting for them. There was a reason for every mile. Compare that to 30 minutes on a stationary bike, alone, earbuds in, going nowhere, for no one. Same muscles, same heart rate, completely different meaning to a brain that evolved to expect one. This might explain something else too. Why willpower alone so rarely sustains an exercise habit? You are not fighting laziness when you dread the gym. You're fighting millions of years of biology that expects movement to come wrapped in purpose, in company, in stakes. Some researchers now argue this is exactly why activities like team sports, group hikes, or even gamified fitness apps tend to stick where solo treadmill sessions fail. They're not tricking your brain. They're accidentally rebuilding pieces of the hunt. Shared effort, a goal outside yourself, uncertainty about the outcome, a reason to keep going past the point where quitting would be easier. Your ancestors never needed motivation to hunt. They needed food. The hunt and the reward were never separated by an app notification or a gym membership. Modern life severed that connection almost completely. You can eat without moving at all. You can move without any food at stake. For the first time in the history of the species, calories in and calories out have no relationship to each other in daily experience. And your body has no idea what to do with that. So it improvises. It craves intensity without context. It rewards effort it can't explain. It builds muscle for a chase that will never happen, in a body that will spend most of its day sitting perfectly still, staring at a screen, waiting for a notification that isn't a kudu, isn't a threat, isn't anything your biology recognizes at all. Maybe that's the real reason so many people describe exercise as something they have to force themselves into, rather than something that simply happens as a byproduct of staying alive. For nearly the entire span of human existence, movement wasn't a choice you made. It was survival. And it came bundled with meaning, with community, with an ending that mattered. Now it's a task on a list, a guilt you carry when you skip it, a number on a screen that goes up or down. So tonight, when you walk into that gym and you step onto that treadmill and you start to run in place, going nowhere, chasing nothing, remember what your body actually thinks is happening. Somewhere underneath the sweat and the science and the noise-canceling headphones, an ancient hunter is still out there, still running, still certain that somewhere ahead, just past the horizon, there is something worth all this effort. There isn't. Not tonight. But your body hasn't gotten the message yet. And maybe, in a small and strange way, that's exactly what keeps you moving at all.